have Arnav, who is going to talk about this project that is very close to his heart. Arnav has been thinking about doing something like this since he was in grade 9. And he's finally able to bring it to fruition. He's sharing it with other schools and organizations. And today we're going to hear more about his inspiration, what he had done so far, and his future plans. So welcome, Arnav.
Hi guys, my name is Arnav. So I would like to introduce to the project I did over the holidays called Project Definity. So the main inspiration for this project was when I came to Sri Lanka, because it was relatively hard for me to adjust to the new environment, especially like new kind of people. Sri Lanka was completely new to me. I didn't know anyone. Compared to when I used to shift countries around India, I had a sense of familiarity with the people, and I used to study in the same education board, CBSE. But when I came here, I was introduced to IB, which I had never heard of before. And when I came here, I found it relatively hard to adjust to the environment, and that this sparked the thought that if I am like a fully able person, is like facing such difficulty to adjust to environments, like how hard it would be for like a deaf or like a any kind of disabled person to adjust to a new environment. Like in this case, it's like a deaf or a hard of hearing person who's like shifting to a new country. So how hard would it be for him to adjust to a new environment? So that's when I had the idea for this project. So to give you some background, deaf generally refers to individuals who have like little to no hearing, and the primary mode of communication is sign language. Whereas hard of hearing people, like it refers to someone who has some degree of hearing loss, and they can often benefit from hearing aids, implants or other assistive devices. I would like to mention a quote by Helen Keller, as she once said that blindness cuts us off from things, but deafness cuts us off from people. Looking at some statistics, 1.3 billion people, or 16% of the world population, goes through like some sort of disability, and 430 million people, or like 5% of the world's population, are hearing challenged. And looking at Sri Lanka, 300,000 people, Sri Lankans, are facing hearing challenges. So this project was really significant for me, because the target demographic was very large. And connecting it to the Sustainable Development Goals, my project targets SDG goal number 10, which is reduced inequalities. This is mainly because when you are deaf or hard of hearing, your opportunities are like really less, especially in jobs, as to like what jobs you can get and what work you can do. So that affects your overall life, and yes. So importance of this project was mainly based off through concept diversity and inclusion. So the importance of diversity is to like enhance creativity, innovation, and decision making, because when you have a lot of people, you are open to like a much more like diverse perspectives, and like greater access to talent pool, because maybe they have their separate talents, so you have like a wider variety of talents, and better economic and financial performance, better representation and customer understanding, like covering all strata of the society, social and cultural benefits due to some sense of community belonging and holistic development of the country. And challenges for deaf and hard of hearing people in Sri Lanka are lack of legal recognition of Sri Lankan Sign Language. When I originally started research, so I was going into the research, assuming that Sri Lanka must have some infrastructure for deaf people or their own sign language, but I was surprised to find out that they didn't. And to the deaf schools and the orphanages I visited, they mainly used American Sign Language, also called ASL. So the other is to access to basic and higher educations due to limited schools for deaf and lack of comprehensive curriculum. Underemployed due to discrimination in jobs because their skill set is really limited due to this disability. Stigma and discrimination for deaf, as the lack of community support, and access to healthcare services as communication difficulty leads to misunderstandings. Limited TV and media programs, including sign language interpretation and making it difficult for individuals to access information every day, and difficulty in access public services such as government office, transportations, and public events. Some of the best practices globally include AI, because AI is exploding right now all around the world. So AI powered sign language recognition and interpretation could be used in video calls, customer service and educational settings, real-time captioning, making it accessible for deaf individuals, meeting, lectures and public events, visual alerts and haptic feedbacks. Home devices are being developed to provide visual alerts for important events such as doorbells, alarms or phone calls. Inclusion of sign language in public services like healthcare, legal assistance and social services. Possible interventions in Sri Lanka are public awareness campaigns, governments and NGOs, to raise awareness about deaf inclusion, promote sign language learning, and encourage business and public institutions to adopt more inclusive practices. Inclusive sports and recreation. Sports organization clubs are becoming more inclusive of providing sign language interpretations. Public transportation, to make public transportation more accessible to deaf individuals. This could include visual announcements, text-based notification, staff training for sign language, and finally sign language interpreters. Sign language interpreter services available at key touch points, especially tourist areas. And International Day of Sign Languages is all celebrated and observed on September 23rd each year. Now I come to my product or communication tool, which is the poster, as you can see over there, and a small leaflet. So I have made this in Tamil, Sinhala and English, and this is the poster, and what basically it does is provide us with conversational phrases and introductory phrases, so you can communicate to deaf people, you can communicate with them, and also you can communicate with them during emergencies, which is another big aspect for this project. Yes, so this has basic conversation phrases like sorry, good, thank you, you're welcome, morning, night, nice meeting you. And this is the leaflet which can be folded. Yeah.
Should I give it up now as we talk about it? Yes.
So it's like a folded form concept that it provides introductory and conversational phrases. So, it's easier to converse with the deaf or hard of hearing people when you face one. And this is many people face the challenges of like creating awkward situations whenever you have to converse with a hard of hearing or a deaf person. And behind if you flip the pamphlet over, you have the alphabets for American Sign Language. So if you want to converse anything else, you are easily able to do that. And some of the major project milestones are, so I have the presidential recognition for the project, and I have also launched the poster and leaflet in the western province of Sri Lanka with the governor, Mr. Senthil Tola. And I would like this to end by saying kindness is a language which deaf can hear and the blind can see. Yes.
Arnav, nice job. I don't know if you know that in the past we used to have a service group that worked with deaf people here. And Miss Furt ran it. So you need to definitely go up and share this with her. Because I think she'd really be interested in seeing this. And maybe you guys can talk about bringing it back. It was called Deaf Hearing Exchange, right?
Yeah, it was a very good service. Yeah.
So you might tell her about your project and maybe, I don't know, maybe we can do a service on this in the future.
I did try to get Miss Furt in, but
Yeah.
she's busy with summer camp stuff, so she apologized. But she really wanted to be here, okay?
Any other thoughts or suggestions?
Any other questions? So this is another evidence that if you have something in your heart that you really want to bring to solution, it is possible. Okay, if you have an idea, be confident that you can bring it, you can build it up and make something out of it. Okay? So good job, Arnav. Thank you so much. Posters here. You can put it around, take it home with you, put it in your classroom, in your room or somewhere. Okay? So you can just come and take it from there.
Arnav, I think you should make like a signing club. Start teaching people how to sign in school. Can you do that?